Okay, kids, remember, practice your ABCs all the way up through O. Guys, I've got you separated into teams with the girls. Guys, do your best. Do everything you can to get all the way through O. And girls, give them nudges in the right direction if they start going astray. All right, guys, we're almost done for the day. Girls, remember, don't ever let your friends borrow your lipstick or your husband. Both of them are too easy to get put in their mouth. And guys, never let your friends borrow your truck or your wife. Both of them are too easy to throw a rod in. Bye. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Hey guys, what's up? We are back with episode 6 of Sleepover at Your Mom's. How is everybody doing today on this Monday? Hope you had a great weekend. I apologize. I was trying to do some double duty here. In the first thing in the mornings, I teach an English as a second language class for a group of Korean second graders. And, the reason I kind of overlapped is I got this new broadband company. It's called Shitty Ass Wireless. And it kind of works like the old payphones where you put your money in. I mean, you can get half an hour for 50 cents, but the speeds are terrible. But anyway, I was trying to double up, and real quick about the class I've got. I've never been more proud of a group of kids than I am of these kids. I mean, second grade, they are already on the fast track to having their own nail salon by the time they get to 8th grade. Their own nail salon in the U.S. by the time they get to 8th grade. And another thing I'm extremely proud about, we picked up a sponsor, and today's episode of Sleepover at Your Mom's is brought to you by Jimmy Bloo's Palace of Nails. Jimmy Blooo. It's BLOO Palace of Nails. Where else can you get 3 O's but Jimmy's? If you want, you can get them dipped. If you're going to France, you can have them tipped. But once you get a blowjob, they'll never get chipped. Don't trust your nails to any Korean salon on the block. Bring your own design or pick one from our stock, and they will look damn good wrapped around your husband's Chevy Astro van gear shifter. Ladies, are you guys feeling festive? Come on down to Jimmy Bloo's Palace of Nails, conveniently located at the edge of the ghetto, safe enough to where you bougie bitches can come over with a friend and the crack hoes can walk on in. Don't get your nails done, get a blow job. Jimmy Bloo's is also a proud member of PETA. All new and experimental products are tested first on the clients so you understand that all animals are kept safe. All right, guys, how has everybody's weekend been? I know I said I was going to try to get some episodes out over the weekend, but the weekend was just so busy. Busy trying to make that money. Had to get out and work this weekend. Today here at the beach is kind of rainy, so I knew I wasn't going to get a lot done today or this week because tomorrow was supposed to be even worse. So I wasn't able to get an episode out, but do have a little bit of exciting news. First thing this morning, shout out to Mariah and Cole Lane. Mariah is my daughter, Cole is my son-in-law. They are expecting their first child, and I am heading out a week from today to go see them. And the best part is, Cole's an idiot. I mean, he's like me. Love him to death, but he's a fucking idiot. And Cole, and hopefully we can get Mariah too as well. I mean, I know she's going to be busy. Right now she's on bed rest, and then she's going to be busy with the baby. But we're definitely getting Cole on the show to co-host some, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it because, again, he's just stupid. He's just stupid. But, you know, again, these kids, your own nail salon at the edge of the ghetto by the time you reach 8th grade. I mean, we are just behind in times. We're behind in times on everything. You know, we make advancements, and, you know, sometimes advancements they're good for us. Sometimes, you know, they hold us back in different areas of our life. And I'll give you one example. Okay, so I'm really going to tell about my age here, but, you know, and I'll try to get some graphics put up, and, you know, for you guys listening on the podcast, you know, maybe we'll put some, I mean, I'll definitely link the video in the show notes for the podcast. Because, I mean, I know a lot of you like to listen over there, but some of you want to see the video, and occasionally, you know, but this is something simple, but many of you are probably not going to know what it is. But, you know, back in the early days of video games, we had this thing called an Atari. Well, I mean, some people had it. I never did have one. I mean, my cousin had one, and he lived next door, so I would have to go over and I have to play with his Atari. But, you know, sometimes when you don't have things and you get to, you know, you borrow something else's, you're much more into it. Like you cherish it more. You know, maybe that's kind of, you know, like you take better care of it because you enjoy it and you don't have it at your house. I mean, I was happy to get to go over there and play it. But, you know, the Atari was I mean, it was the first of its kind, but it was simplistic, especially, you know, compared to a video game now, because the Atari, you had one joystick, one button. One joystick, one button. I mean, you didn't have to do any kind of like power combos. Like a power combo on the Atari was to push this controller up and hit the button. Pull it down, hit the button. Now, the controllers, you don't have one joystick, you have two, but they're these little short stubby things. You know, the Atari's at least, you know, it kind of projected up out of there a little bit. You could get your hand on it. And then, now you've got these little nubs, but you got two of them. And not only do they roll around, each of those are a button. And then you got triggers on the back, one on each side. You got two more up above them on most of them. And then the keypad, you've got like X's and squares and circles and triangles and rectangles and O's and A's and B's. I mean, there's just a lot of friggin' buttons, and, you know, your hands have always got to be doing something crazy. I mean, like you're moving. And I mean, but the Atari, joystick, button. Hell, if you were you could switch it around. You could put that bad boy over here, work the joystick, rub that button. I mean, rub that button good. And, you know, so I think maybe that's one of the reasons why a lot of guys today are confused with women. Because I don't know if Atari had this in mind or not, but if you take all right, you imagine the Atari controller, and God, I wish I had one. But you take the Atari controller and you rotate it on, you know, on a 45-degree angle like this. So it now, instead of a square, your controller becomes diamond shaped. And you put that red button up there at the top. The things they were teaching guys and girls in that day, you know, guys, if you want to get your lady through their ABCs to the O like we talked about last week, you gotta play with that button up at the top. So just imagine you got that Atari controller in your hands and you rotate that baby around. Make sure you pay attention to the button at the top. It's the only button you need to worry about. Now, I mean, okay, maybe your wife, your girlfriend, she's more of, you know, she's more new age. She's a millennial. The Atari controller will still work on her. Now, she may need you to massage A and B a little bit, but I mean, no, it's mostly the button at the top. Work on the button at the top if you want to get to the end of the game. And trust me, you want to get to the end of the game. It's the goal. It's the goal to get to the end of the game. It's your goal. Make it her goal. Get to the O. But I mean, yeah, just technology's so crazy. I mean, like, again, video games. I mean, I was a big fan of the Call of Duty. Big fan of the Call of Duty franchise. Up until, I don't remember which one it was, Call of Duty 3062, I believe. You know, then it became, to me, it became unrealistic. Because you had a jetpack. And if somebody's coming at you, instead of sitting there, trying to hide or trying to shoot, come around, you just jumped up in the air. You just flew away. I mean, to me, that was just fucking bullshit. Nobody flies around. Nobody flies off. But then I got to think about it, the irony is, well, no matter what special equipment, they all just bullshit. Because, sadly enough, if you get shot for real and it kills you, you're dead. You're dead. You don't wait till the, next war comes along, I'm jumping back in. No, it's sad. People really die. But, my thing was how I look at the video games, and I really stopped playing the Call of Duty because to me it became unrealistic. Well, fuck, dumbass, they were unrealistic from the beginning. They never were realistic. But, it's been a great weekend. I am amazed. I am in awe. Thank you for every single download, for every single subscriber. Guys, this weekend got an email from Apple. Even though the podcast has been up on Apple Podcast, you had to have the link to be able to get to it. I know on my Instagram over at Sleepover at Your Mom's, the link, if you tried to go to Apple, would give you an error. That has all been corrected. The podcast is live on Apple Podcasts now. You can find it by searching Sleepover at Your Mom's. You can head over to Sleepover at Your Mom's on Instagram, on our Facebook page, and you can find the links to any of the podcast. And, of course, YouTube. I mean, the amount of times the videos get viewed to me are just amazing. I love and thank you all for it. And I am really excited because most likely 2 weeks from today, I will have a granddaughter, baby Aspen. I am so excited to meet you. And I'm so excited to be able to be there and get to spend time with you. It's amazing. I also have a grandson, Raylan. Shout out to my son Bailey as well. Raylan is, oh my God, he's a ham. He is just a ham, and it's weird. He looks like my father. He looks like me. He looks like my son. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen, like a baby picture of me at 3 months old, a baby picture of my son, or even my dad, and they all look the same. But I don't get to see him as often as I'd like. Hopefully soon I'll get to start seeing him more. But he's a dog. To him, deer are probably his favorite animal. I mean, I grew up a hunter. My son, he hunts some, I think he does, or hasn't got to recently. But anyway, I guess we're all kind of obsessed with deer, or we have been at some point in our life. And Raylan, but they're not deer to him. They're dudes. He started calling them dudes, and they're still dudes. I FaceTimed with him a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me he had just saw 3 dudes. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. You talk to your 2-year-old grandson, he's like, "Hey, Pops, saw 3 dudes. 3 dudes." And he just kept telling me, 3 dudes, everything, 3 dudes, over and over. Yeah, but it's pretty amazing stuff. Again, for me, this weekend, a lot of work, a lot of getting things ready, because like I said, next Monday I will record Monday's episode, here at the beach. And shortly after recording the episode and getting it edited, I'm heading out to the airport. And next Tuesday morning's episode will be live from Scott County, Virginia, the big metropolis. I'm really excited to get back. I mean, I know we have listeners from all over the country, and even shout out to a couple of people in Ireland who've been downloading the podcast regular. Again, amazing. I'm excited to get back. If you're listening and you grew up with me or you've ever visited that area, there is an amazing place called Pal's. All it is hamburgers and hot dogs. But if you live there, you know it's amazing. I can't wait to get back. And you know, some things when you not been to where you grew up in a while, you know, a lot of things change. Like I was there visiting my daughter and Cole a couple of months ago, helping them do some work. The things that changed, like if it's not a liquor store, a funeral home, what else? There was another one. A liquor store, a funeral home. Now there was something else, but I mean, those are really the only businesses that are still open that I remember from a kid. Like all of the hardware store I'd go to closed. The head shop I would go to closed. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, how bad does an area get when a head shop has to close? I mean, I think everybody transitioned over to the vape shops maybe because, I mean, there was a blue million of them. I mean, vapes killing people. And on every street corner. I mean, even here. Well, here, I mean, not really. They kind of dual purpose here. Vape, smoke shop. I mean, you know, we got good places like Blaze. But anyway, I mean, so many things like where I grew up had changed. But then a lot of things stay the same. Like when I was growing up, there was a guy, not a lot older than me, but you would always see him like in the town where I went to high school at in Gate City. And we called it Petey. That was his name. Or he did have this rhinestone leisure suit that had sequins on the back, said Big Jim. But I think that may have been the name that was on there when he acquired the suit. But, you know, I guess the story behind Petey, and when we get there, we're going to find out more. We're going to investigate into Petey a little bit more because, I mean, he is somebody, I mean, you know, I guess you could, I mean, have I ever laughed at Petey? Absolutely. But was I making fun of him? No. He was just, to me, he was an interesting individual. But I guess the story is he got kicked in the head by a horse, mule, something when he was young. And, you know, it affected his mind. But, I mean, you know, during our homecoming at school one year, I mean, I went as Petey. I borrowed one of my grandpa's leisure suits. And my dad had this, you know, Stetson 10X beaver felt, whatever the fuck it was, hat. I turned that sumbitch sideways, and I mean, I did my best Petey walk down the hall. I mean, it was fun. I mean, Petey's an interesting character, but, you know, I'm there, and I'm with my daughter and her mother-in-law, and we're in the drive-through, and this was the first day I was there, and I just said something about, hey, is Petey, about the time I said the words Petey, I mean, here comes Big Jim around the corner. Didn't have a suit on, didn't have a cowboy hat on, but I mean, Petey, buddy, you were looking dapper as fuck. Glad to see you alive, still kicking, moving around. And, you know, I'd love to get Petey on the podcast. And we might try that while we're there. But guys, anyway, thank you. If you got a question, comment, concern, give us a call on the hotline, 305-69-95855. Again, 305-699-5855. or email us at jamie@wtfarewedoingnow.com. Again, that is Jamie, Jamie, at WTFAREWEDOINGNOW dot, for my technically challenged listeners, COM. If you've got, we've had several people send in comments on, some episodes they would like for us to at least cover a few topics on. We're going to get to those this week. I can tell you, tomorrow's episode, unless something drastically changes, believe it or not, this question came in from a lady. She wanted to get, or for me to discuss and put out there to you guys, how do you feel about having sex with with your wife, with your partner, when Aunt Flo comes over for a visit? So, that's actually, to me, that's interesting. And that's something it's probably going to freak a lot of people out, but hey, I'm all about it. So we're going to get to that one. We're going to get to some other great ones this week. But guys, right now, with my daughter and her husband Cole, with me going there, with them with knowing this baby's going to come sometime within the next couple of weeks, if you've got any advice for them as new parents in the digital age, send them in. I mean, I would love to hear them. I'm sure they would love to hear them. Guys, we love you. We're going to catch you tomorrow. That's all for me today. I'm out of here.